Happy Halloween! I needed to talk about this topic because it felt necessary to my own thought process, and it's still a widespread problem in the autism special needs category, I guess you could call it, and in the world of special needs people. When I was younger, I loved Halloween. I loved dressing up. I think for about 10 years straight I was an orange cat because cats was my obsession at the time. And we went the same route because we liked the same route. We went round with friends. We got obviously treats because you go to a door, you say trick or treat, and sometimes you'll get a trick. Other times you'll get a treat. I don't know why I'm explaining that, but it felt necessary. However, not every human who is on the spectrum is going to enjoy Halloween. In fact, not everyone with additional needs enjoys Halloween. For me, as I've grown older, I've realised it's absolutely terrifying to me because it breaks so many laws and so many rules that I've been taught in my head from being a tot. We're told not to talk to strangers. We're told not to take anything from strangers. And we're told that you have to wear certain clothes day to day, like say a school uniform or church clothes or synagogue clothes. I mean, obviously that's not a widespread thing. Not everyone goes to those kinds of places, but you are told what to wear, when to wear it. Halloween breaks that up altogether. You dress up. You go to knock on strangers' houses. You go get treats from strangers. And yes, you say please, you say thank you, but at the same time, you don't know what you're getting, which can be its own issue on its own, regardless of whether someone's got special needs or not. However, with additional needs does come issues with Halloween, or Halloween. I'm not entirely sure how most people say it. I've always called it Halloween. And the major one for those in the autism community is a sensory issue. Costumes are itchy, they're scratchy, they feel different, they've probably not been washed in the same stuff we wash our normal clothes in. They're brand new to some extent, we don't wear them every day, they're not comfortable to us, or we just don't want to wear something that we are not capable or not feel comfortable wearing. So it's a whole sensory issue. Please don't force people who don't want to wear a costume to wear a costume. I've seen plenty of little kids, or not little, but young kids with autism that have t-shirts that say this is my costume on it, and maybe wear a headband or wear trousers that go with the costume. But other times they won't want to participate at all. Please don't force them. It's a huge issue for us. It's a sensory problem. No matter what we do, no matter how we deal with it, you've got to realise that you have taught us certain things. If we're not allowed to do those certain things every day, then why would we be allowed to do them during Halloween? And I apologise if you can hear the dog. He's currently staring at me from the kitchen. Because actually I don't know. I think he wants the plate that's in the sink, but he's not having it. Other times, Halloween can mean not just sensory but noise issues. I mean, especially right now, near me there are fireworks going off. There is people entering houses saying trick or treat even. There is that in itself is extra noise. And then there's the usual noises of a house where TVs go off and TVs are on. People are playing in gardens or playing in the house, or people are watching things or listening to music. Because people with autism and possibly other additional needs have heightened senses, we hear things a lot louder, we smell things a lot stronger. We see things other people don't see. We observe things other people don't see. Our sense of touch is a lot heightened, which is why costumes can sometimes be an issue. Why knocking on other people's doors and walking in crowds of people can be an issue, because all our senses are working overtime because we're overstimulated. And then you get to a point where it's like, as children, we want to participate in a typical celebration. I guess Halloween is a celebration. I think it's more of a celebration in America than it is in the UK. But as children, we want to join in with that. But parents need to find a way of making it friendly and safe for people with additional needs. Because that also comes to the point where people with autism, because it's a spectrum, not all of us are age appropriate. A lot of us are developmentally delayed. A lot of us work on a very basic level of functioning. We still enjoy things like trick-or-treating, dressing up parties, ball pits, play centres, you name it. But a lot of the time, we are over what is the typical age for Halloween. I mean, we're not little kids anymore. Most people, I think, around my area stopped trick-or-treating, sorry, that's the dog's tail, when they were 10 or 11. However, I've had friends who, I mean, they're online friends, but their kids trick-or-treat past 16 because their kid still enjoys it and still likes it and still wants to do it. But then again, it comes to the parents who answer the door, or the children that answer the door don't realise that this person is on the spectrum and that Halloween is still a enjoyable, exciting time of year for them. They just see someone who doesn't belong in a costume trick-or-treating and may not get a treat. They may not get something just because they look older, they don't look typical, they don't have the ability, because some people don't have the ability to say trick-or-treat. But it doesn't mean that you can be rude, or you can be disobedient, or you can be horrible and say, no, I'm not going to give you a treat, I'm not going to give you anything because you shouldn't be doing it. To some people, Halloween is their favourite time of year regardless of their age and regardless of their additional needs. I mean, the only thing you realistically have to try and do is be kind. It's not a lot to ask. If you see someone who looks older, who is still trick-or-treating, who probably still has their mummy and daddy and friends with them, obviously maybe not this year because we're in a pandemic, it is like 2020 and we can't necessarily go out in groups, but if you see someone who's a bit early or a bit older and says trick-or-treat and is with their mummy and daddy, or possibly like a group up to a certain number, and they're wishing trick-or-treating, please give them something. Don't assume that they're doing it for someone else. Don't assume that they don't want something. Don't assume that they shouldn't be there. And certainly don't assume that they're being rude if they don't say trick-or-treat or they don't wear a costume. Because again, it goes back to sensory problems. It goes back to sensory overload. It goes back to struggling. It goes back to lack of routine and lack of understanding. It goes back to having additional needs. I mean, trick-or-treat, the week of Halloween in schools in the UK is mainly half term. So we're already off school. We're already not got a routine. We've already not got our usual everyday things. We've already probably had to say goodbye to one parent who goes off to work and not understood why we're not going to school or college. There isn't a difference here. We need that routine. People with autism and mainly special needs need that routine to get through the day. So half terms and then Halloween at the end of half term is really difficult, because a whole entire week of no routine is overstimulating, It's a sensory nightmare and it's absolutely exhausting to us. Not everyone, I must add. Not everyone with additional needs is like this. I loved Halloween, but I was a pain in the butt for after Halloween because I hadn't had a routine all week. I was tired, I was overstimulated. I got a whole heap of candy and chocolate and sweets from my neighbours and I wouldn't go to sleep. And then there's the whole Halloween and then getting ready for back to school. I mean, this year, 2020, Halloween's slightly different because we're in a pandemic. However, it's also Saturday night, whereas previous years it's been on a Sunday night or a Monday night, etc., where we've had to go to bed and then get up the next day for something. If it's not during half term in the UK, I don't know how America's Halloween works, so I'm sticking mainly to the UK here because that's where I am. That's where I'm used to. That's what I do. And then that completely throws us off because we need our routine to function. So please, if you see someone who still has their mum and dad with them, doesn't have a lot of friends, isn't wearing costume or not much of a costume, clearly has sensory issues, say they're covering their ears, they don't talk, they're non-verbal, they don't say trick or treat, or they're wearing ear defenders or have some form of service animal, do not ignore them. Do not let them join in with the holiday, because you know in your heart of hearts you could be someone's saving grace on that night. You could be someone's thank you, someone's grateful, someone's safety net, someone's happiness for that Halloween. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors with special needs. So you people on Halloween, please just be kind. Don't assume stuff. Don't attack people, regardless of age or what they look like or their additional needs. Be kind. Act scared if they're wearing something scary. Make them feel validated and listened to. And just be kind. That's all I'm asking. It's not a hard thing. On Halloween night, be someone's grateful. Be someone's thankfulness. Be someone's calm. Be someone's normality. Be someone's grace. And be kind. Okay. Like, regardless of their difference, whether it's autism or not. Just be kind. That's all I'm asking. Thank you guys. Bye.